It was once just an idea until breaking. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Here's Mecole Hardman. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
And they'll run the option to start the drive. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. He's trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, but it'll be 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So a long field ahead for the Falcon offense as they head out. They'll be led out by the reigning Super Bowl MVP in his 4th year now. It's Patrick Mahomes.
I know we were assigned this game, but let's face it, this is the one we wanted, isn't it? Got a chance to watch an MVP candidate perform down the stretches 4 weeks ago. How are you feeling about his chances?
Well, I think he certainly has a shot. It's going to determine what he does and what the others around him do for these last 4 weeks. But more MVP chatter, it seems like, every year as you hit the month of December. This year's going to be no exception.
Yeah, I know he's not ranked number 1 right now, but if he plays up to his capabilities, I think he's going to win the thing.
Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball. And puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing now is Mahomes. Going right side here, and that's complete. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
At the 45-yard line.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
He was brought down.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with second and a yard. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So first and goal from the 9-yard line. To throw, it's Mahomes. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
It has to feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team, because we talk about complementary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the Falcons score to cap it off. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here's Hardman on the return. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Heading back out, the Chargers offense. We get a peek at the playoff picture of the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Right back to him for 10 more and a first. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Tackle made at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up second and 5.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
12 yards there and a first down.
So one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Terry McLaurin with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Chargers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So a nice touchdown pass for the rookie there. And, you know, as they go down the stretch, look, they're not a playoff team. This is just confidence building and growth time for him, right?
Yeah, it's a game within the game, isn't it? Because every team wants to win all games on their schedule. But the development of this rookie quarterback is paramount for this team. So you're exactly right. Every rep, doesn't matter what the game, what the situation, what the score, valuable for him, valuable for his team as they look towards next year.
Zuerlein good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And able to get this out to the 25.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
He was brought down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
Now Mahomes. And a quick throw here. That's complete.
Mahomes pass.
I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle, and they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
On fourth down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
Their own 20-yard line.
L.A. readies for its next possession. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down in those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
At the 20-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. These two teams all tied after one.
With the score tied 7-7.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. They'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
This is taken at the 18. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
From the 38, Mahomes throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. Now a handoff here to his running back. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3. 2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7, but they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it? And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
He was brought down at the 26. A gain of 4. And it's
going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Mahomes now on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
to number 6. 4 yards.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Throwing again on second down. Mahomes looking middle, and that's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
A 3-yard gain on the play brings up third down.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the Falcons are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. You're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And the Falcons are going to have a first and goal as some good running there gets him down to about the 2-yard line, knocking on the door. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be second and goal coming up. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, and that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. A 2-yard touchdown grab, and the Falcons have taken the lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good, we're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. He's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's Hardman on the return. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
So out come the Chargers. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up first and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's complete to his tight end, Seals-Jones. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brings up second and 4 at the 30-yard line.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Nick Chubb hit 21.95 miles an hour on a long touchdown run in 2019, 4th fastest in the NFL, and he flashed the big-time speed again there.
And we talk so much from a defensive perspective about scheming and finding ways to take away the run. That means the offense has to devise different ways to get the ball in the hands of their guy out of the backfield. Find open space, let him run, and big things can happen, and they did right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour. Back to throw now on first down. That's caught over the middle by Seals-Jones. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Falcons.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake in the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll try the draw now with Chubb. And he stopped immediately there.
Nick Chubb on the
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
At the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That's caught by Jackson. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
2.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
It's 4th down.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if we turn to the next-gen stats, the final clocking, well, it's ridiculous. 22.5 miles an hour. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Mahomes going to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
1st down, Atlanta.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Over the middle, it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. And the Chargers going to signal for the 1st of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. Falcons' kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7.
Chargers 7.
So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
Take over first and 10.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. This time they stay on the ground. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
The Falcons take over first down.
14 seconds, all that's left of this first half as they come up on first down. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half.
13 yards. First down, Atlanta.
So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And it's the Saints who are out in front. 2 touchdown passes there for the former MVP, Matt Ryan. From there, it's off to Southern Nevada. Check out the action going on beside the neon lights of Las Vegas. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. DeAndre Hopkins, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Denver Broncos. 35-21, the final score. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. Atlanta prepped and ready for its next possession. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On the tackle that time, Bruce Irvin. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on first and second down, because that leaves them third and short, third and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the quick handoff, it's Juszczyk. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
He's brought down at the 42-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give.
Another carry for the running back. The tackle by Derek.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
First man through, it's the fullback Juszczyk. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. Calling a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go.
And that's why the fullback position was created. You just want a big, strong, powerful guy you can hand the ball to and pick up good yardage.
And unable to connect, incomplete. Give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I see what they were trying to do there, trying to find some dead space in the middle of the field and take their shot right there. A really good idea, but it winds up incomplete.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own.
Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 4.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
And he'll give it here to his running back.
number 1, the ball carrier.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner, and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
Mahomes looks to throw on third down. The Charger D making things difficult, and it's fourth down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7.
Chargers 7.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is, will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now a throw here, hauled in. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
It's now third down.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Chubb. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and
from the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
A gain of a yard on the play. Brings up 3rd and 4.
Now back to throw. And that will be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
20-yard line.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. A good solid game there on 1st down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Mahomes.
7 yards, the pickup there.
A 7-yard.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this. Back-to-back completions to the big targeted tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Mahomes. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. The drive stays alive. A 3rd down gain of 8.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And he's got his man on the out route. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
He steps out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. To throw once more. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own.
The football going back to the Rams now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
3rd quarter now from SoFi Stadium. Here's a 2nd and 10. And that's caught by the tight end, Bryant. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
Down and sacked. Brought down back at the 32.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and a mile. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Roughing the passer, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
They'll bring out 4 receivers, 3 of them being sent to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 4. Right side caught by Jackson. And the Chargers are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Chubb. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. So officially it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
We all know how much running backs love getting the ball down near the goal line. They think they're going to find a way into the end zone. He hasn't had that kind of luck so far. Ends up not getting in on the last 2 carries. You know he's going to be upset about a missed opportunity.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
It's now 4th.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Greg Zuerlein on for the field goal. A 26-yard attempt.
Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10.
Dolphins 20, Chargers 10.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Their own 22-yard line.
So out come the Falcons now. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And all the way down to the 37.
Number 6.
It's a big play there for Atlanta. 41 yards.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
It's third down.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown.
Shut him down. Let's do this.
A great effort there. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here's Hardman on the return. And he returns this to the 22.
Hardman on the return. The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 20.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory. But it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a man open down the middle of the field. Now the ball comes loose, and the Falcons grab it. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Recovered by Atlanta.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Now here's Mahomes. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. Hopkins' kick is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now.
Chargers 10.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Ricky Seals-Jones and the rest of his offensive teammates heading back onto the field. And a bounce back here for him after a slow start. And sometimes that's how it goes with tight ends. Those catches in their games, they can go in waves at that position.
And you get so locked into stopping them that you think, okay, hey, look at that. We've held him down. And the best ones, you really don't hold down for an entire game. They're going to get their catches. Your job is to keep them from being big-time catches that break you down totally.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. The Chargers on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal.
A run for Nick Chubb. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
5 yards brings up 3rd and goal.
They're going to look to throw. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Stephon Diggs with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Chargers are able to close the gap just a bit.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. They'll get only a couple down to the 44. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 44-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Now a handoff here to his running back. And on this one he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Brushing off defenders. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. From 10 yards out. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here.
That keeps the score. Falcons 30.
So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Take over 1st and 10. At their own.
LA set to take over again on offense. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick, there on the coverage.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Atlanta, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.